Welcome to another episode of the Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast, where we offer actions and steps you can take today to start balancing your hormones naturally. This is your podcast host, Leah Brueggemann. I am a functional diagnostic nutritional practitioner. I am honored and excited to be your guide on your journey to better understanding your hormonal health and how it affects your everyday life. Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode. I want to give you a little bit of the behind the scenes of the Hormone Reset Premium Access. And you're like, what's Premium Access, Leah? I'm going to tell you. It's what we used to call one-on-one coaching, but it is so much more than one-on-one coaching. So we decided that we needed to change the name to more positively express exactly what's going on. But I want to kind of go over who this is for and how it's different than Hormone Reset and how this can really benefit you. So you've been listening to the podcast and you've been probably implementing some things. You probably have some questions. You maybe want some more personalized stuff, or maybe you're listening to the podcast and you go, this information is awesome, but how on earth do I implement this specifically to what I have going on? Maybe you're a really busy mom, or maybe you're a nurse, or maybe you just don't know where to start, or maybe your health issues are very, very extreme and you're like, I need more help. Then Hormone Reset Premium Access is for you. So this is a 4-month program. We do include labs with this. So you are going to have a hair mineral analysis test and a Dutch hormone panel. And you've probably heard of me talk about these multiple times and how much I love both of these. Minerals are the spark plugs to your hormones, and the hair mineral analysis test can tell us so much about your metabolism, how your thyroid hormone is getting into your cells. It can tell us a lot about your hormones. It can tell us a lot about your blood sugar, and it's just one of my favorite tests. And then the Dutch hormone panel, I just love for learning about your cortisol and your stress patterns and the actual levels of your hormones, and also how well your body is metabolizing them, right? Because maybe your estrogen is totally fine, but you just aren't metabolizing it well, and that's why you have all of these estrogen dominant symptoms. So I just love the Dutch panel. I love combining those two. And you get one-on-one access through Voxer with me Monday through Friday. So I'm like your practitioner in your back pocket, and you go, hey, Leah, I'm working on my protocol and I had X and X symptoms pop up, or I have these questions, or how do I make my breakfast fit better with my schedule, or how do I get more protein in here, or how should I don't know, manage stress today? That's what I'm there for. I'm there to help walk you through it, because one of the biggest things I see is that, maybe you go to a practitioner in person and then you don't see them again for 2 more weeks. And during that time, you have 1,000 questions. So you just don't implement your protocol. And that's where this is so different, because we are there for you every single step of the way. I'm in Voxer Monday through Friday answering your guys' questions. So really, it's just to help you be the most successful that you can be. We're teaching you all the foundations of hormonal health. You get all of your training modules every single week. It's like, hey, you're learning this, now implement it. So there's no guesswork. There's no like, I have no idea what I'm doing, Leah. It's exactly laid out for you step by step, so you truly understand what you're doing. And then on top of that, you have your labs and your personalized protocols and access to ask me these questions, so that it can be so specific for you that we can just really just fly through and really start feeling better. And then we have group Q&As 3 times a month, so that you can, get to know other people that are doing this with you. Everybody asks different questions. We have different exercises for you, because truly there's so much more to healing outside of food and supplements and labs. It has to do with your mindset and, truly believing that you can heal and implementing it. And then we do a deep dive topic every single month. And these are my favorite. Okay. So every single month we'll do, you have all your training modules, you have everything you need to start feeling better and to really understand what's going on. But maybe you're nerdy like me and you want to just geek out and learn tons and tons about the liver, or maybe you want to learn a ton about the gut. And that may not be for everybody. So these are optional for you to attend, but once a month we have a deep dive. And I don't want to overwhelm people that are like, nope, I'm just sticking to my protocol. I don't want to deviate. I don't want to learn anything else right now because my brain will explode. Then that's not for you. But if you are someone that likes to geek out, then you will love the deep dives that we do once a month. And then you also get guest speakers to come in and help you in other areas. For example, Dr. Angie Miller is one of your guest speakers that comes on for you. And she talks about, you've probably heard her on the podcast, but she comes in and talks about pelvic floor health, uterine placement for hormonal balance. You just will love her. So this is for the people, this is for you if you've just been so frustrated and you really want something super personalized and you want to have me there to ask you questions. So the Hormone Reset is a group program and you get group calls, and it's 8 weeks and we work on all of your foundations. And then Hormone Reset Premium Access is 4 months. So it's twice as long. It includes labs, and it also includes access to me because you get Voxer access Monday through Friday. Okay. So if you're someone that's like, okay, I like to ask a lot of questions. I want to have like private eyes on all the things. I like to have hard data. I like to look at my labs and see exactly what's going on. Then premium access is going to be for you. And if you've been sick for a really, really long time and you're very frustrated, then premium access is definitely for you because we want to dive in and we just want to see what's going on. So if this is you, you can go to the link in the show notes and apply, because yes, you do have to apply. Well, we can only take on so many every single month. So we want to make sure that it's a good fit for you and it's a good fit for us. Okay. You can also go to our website, which is leahbruggemann.com. So LeahBruggemann.com. And you can go to services and you can click on the premium access button and read all about it. We have testimonials there. We have some videos linked for you guys, and you can go ahead and apply. So that's that. Let me know if you have any questions. Today we are solo and we're going to be talking about labs because I just think it's important to touch base on labs. When do you need to run them? When should you run them? Why should you run them? Where to get them run? What kind of labs? Should you even have labs run? I think that's such a big one because I really want to talk to you about, like, everyone always wants to jump on a food sensitivity test. That's one of the biggest ones I hear and get asked about. And if you have any type of gut dysbiosis, which if you have food sensitivities, you have gut dysbiosis, everything under the moon could jump on that food sensitivity test, right? Because you have gut dysbiosis. So I just think that... You want to come get on the podcast? Okay. This is Landon. What do you want to say? Do you have anything you want to say?
Play trucks.
You want to play trucks? Yeah, that's a valid...
Lights are on?
Yeah, the lights are on. All right, buddy. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see Landon all the time. He has his own fan club. He's a sweetie. And I'm recording while he's awake today, which is never really happens because I try not to do this, but you know, timing just kind of worked out that way. So anyway, I just think that there are better tests to spend your money on than a food sensitivity test if you have gut dysbiosis, because what you need to be working on there is gut dysbiosis. Now, my other thing when it comes to labs, I don't think that everybody has to run labs. Now, let me say why that is, because I run labs and I really love them. I think that everyone could benefit from running certain labs. Like, I think that you could see benefits from it. For example, like an HTMA, like a hair mineral analysis, I truly think everyone could benefit from, but I don't think that everyone has to have a lab. And the reason why I say that is I think sometimes you tie too much of your health to labs. Like, if you can't run a lab, then what's the point? You know, you'll never know what's going on. There's nothing you can do. But that's not true. There's so much that you can do. And if you don't have access to labs or you're not wanting to run them, I think that that's okay. You should start somewhere, right? Just because you aren't running a lab doesn't mean you can't do something with your health journey. And then secondly, when it comes to running labs are part of a puzzle. I see so many times people just want to run a lab and be like, oh, my estrogen's high or my progesterone's low. Great, I'm going to take a progesterone cream, or I'm going to try and just take a DIM supplement. And you just like go on with your life and you want that to be the solution. And that's how you look at labs. And that's not how labs should be used. I think that's a pointless use of money, because guess what? In 3 months, you're going to be like, well, I still feel like crap. Need to run another lab. Because you aren't working on the foundations. So this is what I would say if you're really strapped for cash. Work on your foundations. Work on your foundations. Because if your foundations are screwed, you aren't sleeping, you aren't eating well, you aren't digesting your food, you aren't managing your stress, then of course your cortisol levels are going to come back whacked. Of course your hormones are going to come back whacked. Your blood sugar's all over the place, right? So start with your foundations. Go back to any of the episodes where we talk about foundations and start there and build from there. And don't think that one lab is just going to change your life, because if you don't have support with your foundations, then a single lab's not going to change your life, honey. I'm sorry. That's why I don't do consultations with labs. Like, I don't like just run a lab with you and book you like a consultation, because I think that's a disservice to you. Because I think that labs are only a part of the equation. And when I use labs with my clients, we're working on foundations, and I'm helping them remake habits and lifestyle shifts so that they can sustain this and figure out what was the root issue going on. And we use that lab to help guide us in making choices and having concrete data to look at. Do you say data or data? I'm just curious. But if you just look at a lab at face value and take supplements for that one lab without making lifestyle shifts like stress management, blood sugar balance, or whatever your lab is telling you, then you're just going to continue this circle. And so that's why I don't do lab consultations, like one-off. I just think it's a disservice to you. The only time I ever do that is for postpartum moms that need a hair mineral analysis test, because I think that you need to get your minerals up postpartum. Just saying. I think it's very important. So anyways, so when should you run labs? Okay. So I get a lot of clients. They're like, okay, I'm ready to run labs, because they've been doing things forever. And they're like, I eat healthy. Why is this not working? Right? I feel so tired all the time, even though I feel like I've been taking all these supplements that, my doctor put me on, or my naturopath put me on, or maybe you were self-treating, which sometimes can be a little fishy. You are like, I've been working on my blood sugar balance. I feel like I've been eating really well, but I'm still tired. I still have brain fog. My periods still suck, Then I would say, okay, let's run some labs. Let's see what's going on below the surface. Maybe you have copper toxicity or something in that realm that is driving things. If you have endometriosis, I think that labs could be very helpful for you. Like, if you have a diagnosis like PCOS, endometriosis, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease, anything like that, I do like jumping right in with labs, just because you really want to make sure certain pathways are corrected right away. So that's when I would say I would jump right in with labs. And then if you've been doing all of the things, I would jump in with labs, because then you can just take it to the next level. But I'm just saying, in terms of labs, if your foundations aren't there, sorry, I have to clear my throat again. If your foundations aren't there, your sleep, you're not focusing on your sleep, you're not focusing on stress management, you eat McDonald's every day, you eat fast food all of the time, you eat your kids' leftovers, your labs are going to come back screwy, So like, don't expect them to not come back screwy is basically what I'm saying. So I would say, before you want to jump into labs, let's work on your foundations first, and then you have something to build upon. That's what we do in HRP, which you can't join that. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up, but you can't join that right now. It's closed. So I would start there. Go back to previous podcast episodes. Learn how to balance your sugar. balance your blood sugar, listen to the podcast on stress management, listen to the podcast on morning routines, listen to the podcast and getting like nutritious food, and working on just overall lifestyle, right? And then you can dive more into labs. And the hard thing that's really frustrating when it comes to labs as well is a lot of times your lab will come back, like if you just go to your doctor and have like a thyroid panel or hormone panel and they're like, oh, you're normal. And you're like, oh, I don't feel normal. Normal is not optimal. So one end of the spectrum is really sick people. The other end of the spectrum is really healthy people. Really sick people, diagnosis, medication. Most people are in the middle, like a pendulum. So you're not sick enough to need a diagnosis, but you're not healthy enough to feel great, right? But you're not sick enough for the doctor to give you medication because you don't have a diagnosis, which is not a bad thing, right? Because there's so much you can do now to reverse that and get healthy. You aren't at the point where you need that medication. But this is where doctors are trained in pharmaceuticals, right? That's their specialty. So they're not going to help you. They're not going to be able to help you with what you are needing, which is lifestyle, nutrition, supplemental choices, to help reverse that. And that's where you go into the functional world. So if you've gone to your doctor and your labs are normal, that's probably why. The other reason is you may not even be running the right labs. I see this all the time where I have clients that have so many symptoms of thyroid issues, but their thyroid panel comes back normal. And then we run a mineral test, and one of the minerals, one of your main minerals is potassium. And potassium sensitizes your cell to your thyroid hormone. So if your calcium to potassium ratio is off, you will be having a ton of symptoms of hypothyroidism without actually having anything pop on your thyroid labs. So you will have what's called cellular hypothyroidism before you get glandular. Okay, so you want to jump on the cellular hypothyroidism before it gets to a point where it becomes glandular. And that you can do with mineral correction and lifestyle shifts, right? And how cool is that you can stop it before it gets worse? But I just always feel like that's the perfect example of you may just not be running the right lab, right? Okay, so recapping, work on your foundations. Second, just know your labs are going to pop funny things if your foundations are off. So don't just run a lab and not think that you have to make foundational and lifestyle shifts. So I just think it's important to have those foundations, you guys. And that's why you can see so much progress just doing that. I would say I would jump right into labs if you have PCOS, endo, autoimmune disease. I think those would be helpful for you. They could be very helpful for you. And then just a quick break to remind you that if you are not already seed cycling with us, you should be seed cycling with us. The benefits of seed cycling are amazing. They contain so many nutrients that are necessary for hormonal balance, including zinc, manganese, vitamin E, all of the good things, amazing for egg quality. And while seed cycling is not the end picture, like that's not all that you'll have to do to maybe achieve the things that you're looking for in your health, you guys, it is the easiest thing that you can do. So 1 tablespoon of pumpkin and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds from your period to ovulation, and then switch to sesame and sunflower. So that is 1 tablespoon of each of those seeds every single day. You want to be buying whole, organic, and then grind them before you eat them. The reason why you don't want to buy ground is that they go rancid within a couple weeks. So unless you know where your seeds are coming from, how long they were sitting on the shelf, they're probably rancid by the time you get them, okay? So start seed cycling with us. And as always, if you want to make this even simpler for yourself, that is where Funk It Wellness seeds can literally change your life. They are organic, they are certified B Corp, all of their seeds are they get them from the best places, and you can get them shipped to your door. So it literally doesn't get any simpler than that. And it's a subscription. So literally Happy Hormone subscription box. I can sign up for that. Yes, please. So you can get yours shipped to your door. Right now they're only in the US. So if you are outside of the US, I apologize. But if you are inside of the US, take advantage of the flash sale that they have going on. You can use code LEAH, LEAH20 to save 20% off of your order, and you even save already on your subscription. So I love seed cycling, but I will say that sometimes it can get hard to stick to because it's hard to find quality seeds, and sometimes I forget to grind them and then I don't get my seeds in for the day. So Funk It Wellness makes it super simple. Literally, they're shipped right to my door. They grind them right before they ship them, so I know that they're not rancid. They have certified B Corp companies that they get their seeds from, so they're super high quality. They're organic, so yeah, I'm much more consistent with my seed cycling now, thanks to Funk It Wellness. You know, maybe you're just not running the right lab. Also, food sensitivity test. I'm sorry, you guys. I just think that is the biggest waste of money. I'm just going to be honest. I just truly think it is. So now that you're like, okay, this is interesting. Do I want to run labs? Do I not want to run labs? So I have some one-on-one coaching spots open. So we'll start June 6th. When will we start? June 6th. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up my calendar. So we start June 6th, and this is a 4-month program where you will work with me one-on-one. And you also will have labs run. So I do run a Dutch panel, and I run an HTMA, a hair mineral analysis. And then sometimes, depending on what you need, maybe we'll run like a GM map. But those are the 2 standard tests that we do. You get one-on-one coaching from me, and we work on those foundations. We work on those lifestyle shifts. You understand what your labs are telling you. We look at them from a functional standpoint, and really just support your body from the ground up so that you can have sustainable support, and have these tools to just carry on instead of, constantly floundering around. So if this is something that you're interested in, you just have to go to the link in the show notes and apply. Yes, you do have to apply. All the details are in there. There's a video in there that talks through everything that's included, pricing, all that fun stuff. So if you're interested, definitely do that. If you're just starting out in your health journey and you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, please make sure that you've listened to your basics episodes. So the ones on seed cycling, the ones on blood sugar balance, the ones on stress management. So important. All right, ladies, I will catch you next week. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to share it with a friend and post it on your stories and tag Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast so we can get this message out. You can find me on Instagram at Leah_BRUEG, and I would absolutely love to hear from you.